Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another session, another amazing session, of course, another Analytics Masterclass. If this is the first time you're joining us, it's going to be a great one, okay? It's going to be a great one. We're going to learn a lot, and not just learn, but most importantly, we're going to have fun as well. Because I, for one, I believe that when you're in any session, you should also have fun, and that's something that we're going to do today. We're going to be exploring financial analysis, understanding what it means to actually be a financial analyst, and also we're going to carry out a case study where we'll work with Power BI in analyzing a company's budget for the year. So the goal that you should be looking to achieve at the end of the session is actually you having some skills that it takes to be a forex, some skills that it takes to be a financial analyst. Okay, so we're gonna have an amazing time, like I said, but just to ensure that we are all together, that we're here, and just to have some bits of networking. We hear about networking a lot, networking here, networking there, networking everywhere. So just so we can begin the networking at this phase, I want you to send your name and where you're joining us from to the chat box. Okay, so send your name and where you're joining us from to the chat box. So we begin. Very, very important. Very, very important. So I would like to hear from everyone. I would like to hear from Fred. I would like to hear from Nancy, from Oluwafumike, from Chigo, from Balogun to AJ. Okay, so just send your response to the chat box. Send your response to the chat box, where your name and where you're joining us from, so we can start the networking from this point. Okay, thank you very much, Fred. So we have Fred. Fred is joining us from Ghana. I need more responses for the session to be a great one, for you to get all of the skills that we are going to be teaching in this session, and of course, for you to have fun. There's something that's very, very important that you have to do, and that is communicate. Okay, so you have to communicate. And how do you communicate? By sending your responses to the chat box, by sending your feedback to the chat box, by sending your questions to the chat box. So let's move on. We have Nancy. Nancy from the UK. Nice to meet you, Nancy. We have R from Lagos. Fantastic. Thank you, R. We have Balogun from London as well. Great, great. Absolutely fantastic. So, and we also have AJ from UK and a couple of other patterns. I'm sure we're going to send in our locations later on. But so we don't waste any more time. So we just go straight to the point. Let's take a look at the topic again. Financial analysis. That's what we are focused on. We're focused on financial analysis. What really is financial analysis? What are the skills needed to be a financial analyst? What does a financial analyst do? What influence does a financial analyst have in any organization? Is a financial analyst another name for a banker? Or is financial analyst another name for an accountant? We're going to explore all of these things today and see if it's really a viable career path. But first of all, about me. Okay, so I'm Isusa Malaho, and I'm the lead in charge of training and operations at Analytics. So I have experience ranging from data analytics to business analysis, power platform engineering, and also predictive AI engineering as well. So I've also been able to work across different organizations, across different countries, from the US to the UK to Canada, Nigeria, and also Singapore as well. And I've been able to train over 2,500 participants across board. Okay, so I'm gonna take the second section. Of course, joining me as well, we also have Mark Olafare. Mark is an astute professional, has close to a decade experience when it comes to data analytics and business intelligence. So he's going to be taking us through the Power BI section, telling us how we can actually use Power BI because he has lots of experience. Again, he builds the fantastic dashboards and report for several organizations across different sectors, from finance, which we are going to be focused on today, to retail, to health, and of course, edutech as well. So he's going to take us through the first section. On the case study, all of the serious work. And then when he's done, I'm going to come back in and then we'll have fun. I'm the fun guy. Okay. So I'm the fun guy. So when it's done, I'm going to come back in and we'll have some fun. Hello, Mark. Are you there? Are you good to go?
Thank you, Aise. I'm super excited to be here tonight.
Fantastic.
And I'm seeing people from different locations joining us. Welcome, everyone.
Okay. Yeah, so you can go ahead and share your screen and yeah.
All right, like I said mentioned earlier, I'm going to be taking us through a financial data for an IT organization. So we're going to be analyzing their budget for the year and using Power BI. I hope at the end of the dashboard, you'll be able to learn one or two. Let me also say that aside among the tools for data analytics, or let's be specific, visualization, Power BI is one amazing tool that it's easier for you to be able to make decisions at a glance. It has a couple of functions that whatever it is that you are using it for whatever industry, sector you're trying to do analysis for, it's easier for you to be able to um, make decisions at a glance, and it's very easy to use. So we're going to be looking at like I said earlier, an IT company. So they've contacted us to do more like to do an analysis of their budget over the year. And as financial analysts, data analysts, we want to be able to put insight into their budget. So let's do a deep dive into what financial analytics is. First of all, it involves using data analysis and business intelligence tool like Power BI. Let me say Power BI is a business intelligence tool, right? To monitor and optimize what is happening in the IT department operations and across their spending. So financial analytics also help organizations to be able to monitor their budgets, how are the project performing, and also make informed decision across their finances. It could cut across evaluating the budget to the actual amount they spent, the return on investment analysis. We're also going to be looking at project performance. The projects that we're working on, are we actually on point? We're also going to look at the cost that has been applied. We want to be able to see the cost breakdown. And are we actually utilizing the resources that is made available for us? This is to ensure that the IT investments align with the goals and objective of the organization while delivering measurable values. Now, let me just give us a quick insight into what Power BI is. It's a business intelligence tool. Just a minute, please. So it's a business intelligence tool developed by Microsoft, enabling users to, I used to call it the ETL, extract, transform, and load. That's the first thing, right? That's what the connect and transform is about. Then you can actually go ahead to do some form of visualization of your data, then analyze it. Interestingly, you can bring in data from different sources into your Power BI, whether it's the web, whether it's from platforms using APIs, your Excel sheet, different platforms. You can actually use that to get data into your Power BI. That's one of the reasons why I love interacting with Power BI. Over the years, I've been able to access different data sources, and I've been able to use the data to build awesome dashboards, right? And also not just the dashboards, create interactive and insightful dashboards that stakeholders can actually work around. It also allows businesses to create real-time dashboards and reports. Now, the data set we're working with, let's assume that it's on Google Sheets. Yeah, one of the places you can get your data set is on Google Sheets, right? You store your data set in Google Sheets, right? So whatever platform it is saved, as long as they keep updating the data set, I'm using Google Sheet as an example, right? As long as you keep updating the data set, what happens is that because you've designed your dashboard to work real time, they don't need to import the data set again. All you just need to do is to do like a refresh, and automatically extra data that you've added to your data set is impacted on your dashboard. Now with Power BI, like I said earlier, different live data sources, you can automate reporting, whereas there's some reporting you probably do every day, every week, or every month. Now what Power BI does is you do the report once, and over time, you don't need to go back to build that report from scratch. All you just need to do is use the refresh button and your report is updated. So with that, you'll be able to uncover trends through the charts that are there, through the graphs, through the key performance indicators. Now, for the purpose of this dashboard that we're going to be building, we'll be given a task to work on some metrics. So we're going to be looking at the total budget for this organization, total actual spend, the variance, return of investment at a glance. We're also going to be visualizing budgeted versus actual spend across the project so that we can spot discrepancies easily. We're also assigned to track trends in IT spending over time. That's on a monthly trend. Remember, we are doing the budget. We're trying to check that budget over the year, right? We're also going to display projects that are over or under budget. We want to see which projects did we embark on that will shoot our budget. And we also want to check the differences in that's the actual budget that we had and the amount that we spent. We also display average performance score and headcount efficiency across different projects or department. Let me quickly show you the data we are going to be working with. Now, this is the data set you are going to be working with. Just hold on, please. All right, this is the data set we're going to be working with, right? Contains the dates. We have the department, different departments, the project they worked on, the manager in charge of the project, the actual budget, the actual spent, that's the amount they spent. Then we looked at the difference between the budget and the actual spend, the performance of each of the departments, the head count, that's how many people worked on the project, and the return on investment, right? This project that we embarked on, was there a return on investment? So let me show you the dashboard we are going to be building and we'll jump right into it. All right, so this is the dashboard we are going to be building, the IT department budget and performance dashboard. Now, from the dashboard, we'll get the total budget, total spent, total amount spent, the difference in the two, the average return on investment. We're also going to be analyzing the budgeted amount to this amount spent based on each project. We're going to be looking at the monthly spending trend across different months. We're also going to be looking at the difference in the budget to the actual amount spent, and we're going to be looking at the average of performance score and the head count per department. This is something very, very easy. Yeah. And trust me, Power BI has made all of these things easy with the drop and drag function, meaning that all you just need to do is bring your data set, import your data set, and you are good to go. So I'm going to build this from scratch. So I'm not going to try and replicate what we have here so that we could save time. So let's start with the first thing, which is to bring our data set in. So when you want to bring your data set, you have options to bring your data set from here. This is where you connect your data. You connect to the data from multiple sources. Like I said earlier, your data set could be from an SQL server, from a Google Sheet. It could be from your normal folder, your Excel folder, your desktop folder. It could be an Excel file. It could be a CSV file. Whatever folder or wherever the data set is, you can actually access it. So I have the data set saved on my system, on my desktop. So I'm just going to get data. So I'm going to get data. These are the common data sources, right? You have Excel workbook, Power BI data set, you have CSV, you have SQL, you have the web, right? So for the purpose of this dashboard, I'm going to be getting my data from the CSV because I'm working with a CSV file. So I'm going to click on text CSV. It's supposed to take me, it's going to take me to wherever I've saved the data set. So this is where I have, this is the data set here, right? IT department budget performance. Then I'm just going to click on this, then open. All right, so it's going to take a while to just come up. All right. So it depends on how large the data set is, right? So this is what you are going to see, building connections. Let me see. Yeah, this is the data set that we're working with. It's going to give you like a sample of the data set at a glance, right? So you have options to load, transform, and cancel. Now, the load is when you are sure that everything that is here is good. But if you need to do a bit of cleaning, that is where the transform data is. This data is cleaned already. We are not cleaning anything. That's what we call data cleaning. Hopefully, you'll be able to get more of that when you join in any of our other programs. But for now, this data is clean, and I'm just going to load the data set, right? So when you click on load, you should have something like this. So it's going to just show you connecting, and you will have your data set loaded like this. So this is my data set. If you notice, we have the, let me open this again. So you have the actual spend, budget. These are all the columns that you have in your data set. So now that we have achieved that, let's jump right into our visualization. So the first thing I want to do is to set up my KPIs. Let me go back to our slide and see what we have. Now look at the first thing we are supposed to display: total budget, total actual spend, variance, and return on investment at a glance. So let's do all of that. Let's start with the total budget. So how do I achieve my total budget? All I just need to do is, I'm going to use a particular visual. These are called visuals, right? These are called visuals. We have different types of visuals here. I'm going to be using this new card. This is the visual I'm using. The new card can contain multiple metrics at the same time. So let me click on this. Now I have my visual. So the parameters I need the actual spend. I need my budgeted amount. I need my hold on. All right, so I need my actual spend, budgeted amount. I need my return on investment and my variance. So I'm just going to tick, and automatically the values will be added here and the visual is created. The analysis is created. That's how simple Power BI could be. So I'm just going to tick this actual spend. Now let me start with budgeted amount, the actual spend, the variance, and expand this. So can you, at a glance, you can't see all of them, right? So I need to make sure that it is the 4 KPIs are visible. So this is what I'm going to do. Just go to this place, this format visual panel here under your visualization. Then I'm going to go to my layout. Currently, you can see that I have 3 cards, right? I want to increase it to 4, which is the number of cards I want to see. So I'm changing this to 4. Okay, can you see that my KPIs or my parameters are showing clearly now, right? There's something I want to do. This sum of ROI, I don't want it in sum, right? I want to see it as average. I want to see it as average. So what am I going to do? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to change it from sum here. Open this drop down and just select average. So what I have is 39.36% return on investment. Some of the budgets, the budgeted amount was 287 million. The actual amount that was spent is 277 million. And the difference between the two is 10 million. The average of return on investment is 39.36%. Okay, now that we have this, we are almost, let's see. Okay, so we've done the first part of our analysis, which is our KPIs. Let's go back to our task. Visualize budgeted versus actual spend across projects. Look at the keywords here. We want to see the budgeted against actual spend across different projects. Pretty simple. Now, at a glance, I could just pick all of the things I need, right? Actual budgeted, then project. Now, Power BI can do something for you, right? It can automatically generate the kind of visual you want, right? Just by selecting the items or the columns you need. Look at this now. It generated this for me. However, I don't want this. I want to use something different, something similar to what I have here. As you can see here, I used a bar chart here, right? And this is a column chart. So I want to change this to a column chart. Look at this. If you hover around this, you see this is a clustered column chart. I'm going to change it to a clustered bar chart, okay? Now look at what I have here. Then I'm just going to arrange this so that it can contain other things, okay? Now let's go back to our KPI. Remember, the word is against different projects. So we can see the actual amount that was budgeted. We can see the budgeted amount to the actual amount that was spent. I think I want to swap them. Let me put budgeted amount at the top and actual amount beneath. Okay, good. So this is the budgeted amount at the top and the actual amount spent beneath, right? If you notice here, the amount we budgeted, we didn't spend up to that amount, right? Under cloud migration project. However, during the upgrade network, we had a budget of about 46 million, right? And we spent about 47 million for our project, showing that we overshoot our budget, or this is over the budget, right? Now let's go to the next analysis. Track trends in IT spending over time. So over the month, we want to see how we spent. What was the spending rate like? So let's go back to our dashboard. So I'm going to pick my actual spend, right, to months. So this is my date hierarchy here, right? My calendar, this is my date. Now, what Power BI does is, if it notices a date, let me go back to the data set that we have. Now, look at this is the date column. Power BI is so sensitive that it can identify a date in a data set and split it into year, month, or day, as the case may be. All right. Now, let's go back to our data set. Now, we already have this as year, quarter, month, or day. So I just want to use the month. Now, look at what it did for me. It also created a column chart for me across different months. However, I want to use a line chart. Line chart is usually used to identify, like when you want to analyze trends, you want to see the trends. Was that a decrease or increase? So I'm going to change this to a line chart. Now, can you see what I have here? There was a decrease from January to February. There was a downward slope. Then it went up again. We spent more across March to April. Then the spending rate reduced down to June, and towards December, it went up again. So from here now, we can simply say that, oh, we spent more on projects in January, and we spent the least in July. This is one of the things Power BI can do. It gives you insight into what is happening in your business, into the organization. So I'm just going to arrange this so that it fits into this place. Okay, so let's look at the other things we want to do. Now, display projects that are over or under budget, highlighting the variance. What we want to see is this, right? Look at something like this. In this case here, we can't really say, you merely looking at it, you can say, okay, yeah, this one we shoot our budget, we are over budget or under budget. However, there's something else that we can do. We can actually indicate if it is actually over budget or under budget. I want you even to say, if it is under budget, I want it to be red. If it's under budget, meaning that we didn't spend up to the amount we budgeted, that I want to give it a green light. However, if we overshoot our budget, I want to say, I want to indicate it with something like red. So I'm just going to do that. Now I'm using my variance, right? That's what tells me the difference. I'm using my variance and my actual spend. I'm just going to use my variance and the project. Let's see again. Display projects that are over or under budget. So we're using the variance and the project. So we're going to go to our variance and also project. Just stick project. Now look at this now. Let me try and make this bigger a bit so that you can see what is happening here. What did you notice here? I have negative values here, right? That is why you can see that this is showing that this is negative. If I over around this, it's going to tell me that we have about 1 minus 12 million. Let me try and format this so that it looks nice. Let me try and format this, my values in currency, so that it looks proper. Okay. Let me do the same thing for budget amounts. Okay, it's loading. Okay, it's coming up. All right, good. Let me do the same thing for budget. This is taking, remember it is in USD, right? So that's why I'm using currency. The currency that has the default currency is USD. All right, beautiful. Now, if I over around this, it's taking time. All right, good. So this is showing, okay, I need to convert the variance to USD, to currency. I'm trying to do that so that you can see the value. It's going to show you how much difference, like the variance that we had. Now look at this now. There's a variance of 1,210,000. You can see that this is showing as negative value. That's why you can see the bracket here, right? This is showing negative value. However, I want to be able to do something. In case where I have negative value, I want this to come out like this is negative, meaning that we didn't spend up to the amount. This is supposed to come out as green. And in this case, I think we should do actual spend. Yeah, this is coming out as green, meaning that we didn't spend up to the amount we budgeted, right? And this one is meaning that we spent about 4 million extra of the amount we budgeted. So this is what I'm going to do, right? So I'm just going to say, in this case, this should come in as green, and this one should come in as red. So this is what I'm going to do. Come back to your, go to this particular place, format your visual. I want to format this visual, and just come to my columns, right? Scroll down. You can see that all of the color is blue. I'm going to say, no, I don't want blue. I want to add a condition, right? Now, what is my condition? So just click on this FX. Now, I'm going to say, based on the variance, now I want to use, let's say, rules. Now, based on my variance, right, it says, what field should we base this on? What rule do you want to apply? I want to say, if it is less than 0, if it is greater than 0, let me change this one to, let's say, let me use this as the minimum. So if it is greater than the minimum, but less than 0, if it is less than 0, right? That's anything less than 0, meaning that we did well. I want to see this as green. Let me just pick green color somewhere here, right? Let me see. Yeah, if it is greater than, okay, this is supposed to be number. Okay, so if it is greater than the minimum, that's the minimum number, but less than 0. Remember, less than 0 is anything less than 0 will be showing negative values, right? So we're going to say if it's less than 0, it should show us green. I probably just want to change this green to something different. Okay. Then let me just click on OK. Now, can you see that these guys are showing green, while these other ones are showing blue? So what it means is that when I see green here, I will understand that, oh, this particular project did well, right? Let's go to the other visuals or the other analysis. Display average performance scores, and head count efficiency across different projects or departments. Display average performance score and head count efficiency across different projects or so we're going to be using department for this. We're going to be using department for this. Let's just see. So let's do a quick check what we have so far. We have our total budget, total spent, variance, average ROI. We have our budget against amount spent. We have our monthly spending trend. We have our variance. Now we want to do our average of performance score and head count. All right. So we're going to use our head counts, okay? performance score, and the project. Let's see. There's our project again. Yeah, and project. So this is what we have, but this is not what we want to use. We want to use something different. We want to use this chart, line and stack column chart, right? Line and stack column chart. So I'm just going to put this here. Then I'm going to move my performance score to the line axis, to the line. So I have something like this. But let me see. Now, remember, it's the question, the instruction is this. You want to see average performance score, right? So let's go back to our dashboard. Currently, you have sum of performance score, right? So let's change this sum to average. Pretty simple. All you need to do is open this drop down and change this to average. Can you see what we have here? So this is showing two indicators. We have this blue line, the line which is the average of performance score, and the bar showing the sum of head count. Now, we've been able to analyze all the things across this department. So the first thing we did was to consider all of their budget. Let me try and reduce this so that it is visible. This is too big. So I'm just going to go to my format of visual, then go to call out values. Then I'm going to change this size to, let's say, 23 or 24 so that it is visible, right? Now I have all of these decimals showing. This is too much. I probably want to reduce that. So let me go back to my actual amount. Then reduce this decimal to, let's say, for my currency, this is what I did, right? I came to my actual spend, I clicked on this, and I came to the top here and just changed my currency to, let's say, 2 decimals maximum, instead of having auto. So I'm going to have 286 million. I think I don't even want any decimal. Let me remove decimal completely. Let me remove the decimal completely. I don't want any decimal. Let me just say 0. 0 decimal points. Let me do the same thing for budgeted amounts. So I'm going to click on this and change this to 0 also. Same thing with my variance. I'm going to change my variance to 0 decimal. So just go to your variance, come back here and change this also to 0. All right. Making sense, right? So we are almost done with our dashboard. Look at how simple we've been able to create insight from this dashboard. So we've been able to get the key performance indicators. We're able to compare the budgeted amount to the actual spend. We're able to look at each of the amounts on a monthly basis, right? We're able to also look at this head count indicates the number of people working on a project and their average performance. We also looked at the difference across different projects. This is something that Power BI can do. In the actual sense, we are done analyzing this data set. We've been able to create insights. All we have left is just to do a bit of design to make this dashboard appealing. It's another thing for you to design. It's another thing to make this dashboard look presentable. So the first thing I'm going to do, let me add my, let's say, the dashboard title. So I'm going to go to my insert. So let me go to insert. Oh, I have it here already. This is my text box. I'm using a text box this time. Now it's going to ask, what do you want? IT dashboard. Sorry, IT budget and dashboard. IT budget and performance dashboard. IT budget and performance dashboard. Okay, let me reduce this. I need to make the size bigger, so I'm just going to select this, Control A, then increase this size to, let's say, 24, and that's too much. Let me use 18 for this. All right, perfect. Now I'm just going to drag it to the top and expand. Something like this. I probably just want to align it to the center so that it looks neater. Oh, I need to add something extra. January to December 2024. Then I want to have, this one is going to have a different font. So I'm using size 12. Okay. Now, aside this, the next thing I want to add is what we call filters, right? Now, let me show you one powerful thing Power BI can do. Powerful thing Power BI can do. Now, if I click on any of these, right? Look at for security audits. If I click on this, automatically everything is affected. Can you see? All of these ones went gray, right? And I have only information about security and audit. Now, can you see the total budgeted amount for security audit? 49 million. Actual spent is 49 million. This is because we don't have decimal. I think we might want to add decimal so that it makes sense a bit. Apologies, everyone. So that we can easily see what is happening. Let me use 2 decimals. So that we can easily track, because this might not give you a true picture of what we have. So let me use 2 decimal. Especially for this, both are looking like 49 million, where we actually know that it's not the same. Now look at this. Sum of budgeted was 49.22 million for security audit, and the actual amount was 48.99, right? If I click on data warehouse also, it gives me something different also, right? Let me remove the few, let me remove the, now if I go to May, I want to see information for only May. Now it's going to give me information for me. The budget for me was 23.58. Look at the department. All of this will give you information for only that of May. Same thing if I click on December, it's going to give me information for May, for December. Now, if I click on cloud migration also, from here, it gives me information about cloud migration across board. That's one of the things that Power BI could do. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Now we have all of these. So we want to add our slicers, right? Or let's call them filters. We want to be able to filter down based on departments, cost center, and manager. So how do we achieve that? Now I'm going to add my filter. This is what we have called a slicer, right? So let me just stick my slicer. Now the thing about Power BI is you can choose either ways. You can select the metrics you want to analyze, right? Or you can pick your visual and use your metrics. In this case, I want to use my slicer. So I'm just going to click on it, right? I need 3 of these. Or let me just use one for now, and I'm going to replicate. So I want to add my cost center. I want to be able to analyze, I want to be able to filter down based on different cost center. So let me add this. These are the cost center. Then I don't want to see this way. I want to make it look like a drop down. So I'll go back to my format your visual, slicer setting. I have my style from vertical list. I'm changing it to drop down. Now, if I open this, I'll have all of my cost center, IT 1001 to 105, right? Now, let me just duplicate this. Control C, Control V. Okay, I think this is, let me move this to the edge, right? Let me move this to the edge. Then I have my cost center. I'm going to change this one. Now look at another thing about Power BI. I used a different visual, a different metric, right? And I want to use the same visual I use here. What do? I'm just going to untick this. And I want to see by department, right? Let me show you something. If I pick network, remember we didn't do anything around departments here, right? If I pick network, I'm going to see only information for network. If I pick security, I will see only information for security. As you can see here, there was a negative value for my security, meaning that we overshoot our budget in the security department. If I pick data analytics, which is my own department, right? Of course, you expect us to be on budget, right? We had a budget of 51.7 million, and we optimized our budget, and we still had like a 3 million profit, right? So that's what the slicer can do. One more slicer I want to add is the project in question. So let me just copy this, Control C and Control V. Let me move this a bit. I can reduce this. I can just reduce this. All right, so I'm just going to change this from cost center. Let me use across managers. I want to see information. How did the manager perform? right? I have Alice Smith, Bob Johnson, Carol White. How did they perform? Look at David Brown, met his didn't spend beyond the budget. Bob Johnson didn't spend beyond the budget. What about Alice Smith? Alice Smith didn't spend beyond his budget. David Brown didn't spend beyond the budget. What about Evergreen? Evergreen was the only one that spent over budget. Let's see for other people too. Alice Smith. Right? So we're able to track what each of them has done. All right, so this is essentially, so overall, we're positive. We did negative, right? I mean, this 10 million is showing that there was a difference of 10 million, meaning that we overshoot our budget. Now, having done this, the next thing you need to do is just to do a bit of formatting, just to make your dashboard look beautiful. So let me try and add a background to my dashboard. So let me go to my format your reports page. I want a black background for my dashboard. So format your page, you see format your reports page, Canva background. Let me use a black background. Okay. You won't see it at a glance, right? So what am I supposed to do? I want to reduce the transparency to 0 so I can see my dashboard. Now, let me quickly show you all of this design that I did so that I won't take much of the time. Now, what I did was I had a dark background. Then, as you can see from all of these things, I'm going to just remove all of this background. Let me move all of the background here for all of them. So let me just do effects, turn off the background. Yeah, do the same thing for this, turn off background, do the same thing, turn off the background. Now you might be wondering that, am I going to do this for everything? No, the answer is no. How do I mean? Now look at this. I'm going to select this particular one. Then I'm going to use my format painter, right? Can you see that? So the same design I did here automatically applies here. Same applies to this one too. So you don't need to do the same process. Remember, the goal is to optimize processes. So I'm going to use that same thing for this also. Format painter, remove the background for this also. Can you see the background for this one is gone too? I'm also going to use that for this. I don't want background for any of them. Okay, let me select this. Go back to my format painter. Okay, do the same thing for this. Do the same thing for this. So it's more like the design you did in one, you can use for another. Now, this is not looking beautiful yet, right? Because most of these things are not clear. So what do I need to do is to do what? Change them to white. I want to change my values to white. So I'm going to change my title to white. So go back to your format visual. Then this is my x-axis, right? So I'm going to go to my x-axis, go to visual, go to my x-axis. Can you see the color is black? I'm just going to change it to white. So it's making sense. Also, my values, I want to change them to white, which is my y-axis in this case. You can search for y-axis in case you don't know what it is or you can't find it. Can you see this is my y-axis? If I scroll down, so it's just going to give me y-axis options. This is my y-axis. Change the color from black to also white. Now look at this is making sense. Let me also apply the same thing I did here to this one. So I'll go back to this format painter. Can you see the same design I applied here automatically applies to this? I'm going to use that same design I did. Do the same thing for me here. I want to use that same for this one too. All right, beautiful. Can you see now that all of my values and that's the project, or let's call them the y-axis, the metrics already have like white. I'm almost done with formatting. Let's see what else you could do. Now this is looking like what you have here, right? We have these blue lines. So let's go back to this one. So we can expand this. Let's expand this a bit. Okay. Let's also expand this. Let's reduce it a bit. Let's reduce the size of this. Then we might need to change the value of this. Remember, I used 24 earlier, so just go to 24. call out values. Let's change this to 20 or 18. All right, good. Then I can just rearrange this. Now, this is not looking beautiful yet, right? The next thing I want to do is maybe add like a shape, just like a edge. Let me go to this place. Go to general effects. I want to add like a border for all of them. So go to visual border. Then I don't want a black border. I want a white border so that I can see all of my visuals. Now look at it now. It's separating all of them, right? Let me do the same thing for this. Okay. Just search for border. Or you can just go to effects. Under your visual rather. General. Visual border. Then change. Remember what I could have done was to just do like whatever I did here. But I just wanted to do this just to show us. Then I probably want to reduce this a bit. Let me change. Let me turn this on too and change this to white. I want to increase the. Yes, I want to increase the border. Okay, good. So we are almost done with this visual. Looking like now, the next thing I want to do is, you notice that my titles are not showing, right? So I want my titles to show just like what I have here. Let me see. Just like what I have here, I want my titles to show. All I need, remember I said it is called title, right? So all I need to do is go to this first one, go to my titles, go to title. Currently it is black. I want everything to be in white. Now sum of budget, do the same thing for this, change it to white. Do the same thing for this, change it to white. Also do the same thing for this and change it to white. Okay. Let me reduce this. I can also reduce this too. Now, another rule about Power BI is you need to be able to arrange your dashboard so that it is properly aligned. You shouldn't have some jumping up and down. They should be properly aligned. That's what I'm trying to do. Look at this. There's a line that is showing around, meaning these two guys are not aligned yet. I need to align them. Okay, can you see that the lines are aligning? Then I want to align these ones too. Okay, let me reduce this. Then just drag it down. Oh, this my color has changed. I need to fix it back because of the formatting that I did. And I need to add a border to this also. Okay, we have a border here already. Let me just reduce this. I want to move this in. Yeah. All right, beautiful. I think I need to add the border to this. I'm not sure the border was showing. Okay, I didn't add the border to this one. So let me just add a white border. All right, good. So I can increase this so that it aligns with what I have at the top. Then reduce this also. Yeah, this is making sense, right? Now, I also have my legends. Yeah, I have, this is called legend. My legend is not showing well, so I probably just want to change it to white also. So go to your format visuals, look at my legend here. I'm just going to change the title, the text, change it to white. Now, why am I so particular about colors? Colors will actually sell your dashboard, right? If you're using the wrong color combination, your dashboard will not come out fine. I also want to change the background of this. So go back to effects, turn off background, right? Then I have to make sure my text is in white. Good. Now, IT budget and performance dashboard. Maybe I want to add like a, let's see, like a border, just like I have for the other ones, a white border too. Beautiful. Now we're almost having the same thing. Okay, so my titles for this are not showing. So I want to make sure that they are, this is also title, right? So let me go back to title, go back to general, and let me go back to my slicer header rather. I'm just going to change it to white. Okay, change the slicer header to white. Now, if I open this context, you can see this is black, right? So whatever I have here, I want to apply the same to all these ones. So I'll just click on this. I don't want to start formatting this one. So I'm just going to go to, okay, so what I want to do, let me see, this header is not showing clearly. So let me go back to this. right? Go back to my values. It's showing black. But let me see. Effects. I want to turn on my background to black. All right, good. Now let me copy this. The design I have here, look at this. The design I have here, that's this white. I want it to apply to all of this. So I'll just click on this, go to my format painter. Remember what I did earlier? Automatically go back to the format painter and it's applied here. So I have my cost center, department, and my manager. If I open this, it shows me the value for each of them. Finally, I want to add one more slicer, which is my month slicer, right? So how do I do that? Go back to my slicer, and I'm just going to bring this here. I want to add it somewhere here. This is for my month. So first of all, I'm just going to go to my month and just bring it. Now, can you see this is for my month? Now, unlike this one where I used a drop down, in this case, I am using what we call list. Look at this. If you go to slicer setting, vertical list. I also want to turn off the background for this. So go to my general effects, turn off the background. But the values are not showing, right? So go back to my visual, go back to my values, then change it to white. So I can see my month. So if I select any month, I'll be able to see the analysis for each month. If I select June, I'll see analysis for June. And how do I take this off back? Oh, my title is not showing. My month is not showing. So go back to title. Go back to title. You can go back to visual. The header this time around, slicer header. Then my title, my text is in black. I'll change it to white so that I can show. So I have my months. All right. So we've been able to build this same dashboard, replicate this dashboard from the scratch, and we have the same thing here. Oh, we missed out something earlier. So this is what we wanted to say. This one that has changed back to blue. Let's just fix that, and we're done with our dashboard. So let's go back to format visual, go to columns, where we have our blue, we're doing like an FX, then say, I want to use a rule and say that anywhere for numbers greater than minimum, the minimum, right? And lesser than 0, I want to see it as green. That's green light. We did well. Then I want to also see another condition. Yeah. A new rule, if it is greater than the maximum, right? This is max. This is lesser than -1. So it is supposed to be lesser than -1. Then this one is max. I'm using a red for this. Okay. They all came out in red. Just a minute. I think the rule I used, greater than 0. Okay, for number. Okay, if it's less than 0, yeah. This one is maximum. Yeah. Then if it is so I'm using red for this. All right, good. So can you see now we have different colors? I didn't change this one color to green. So when you see this color, what comes to your mind is that, oh, we shoot our budget or over budget. And when you see this other color, it means we are under budget. So this is technically a budget and performance dashboard that we built for this company. And with this, you can actually make insights and recommendation for this organization. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. That was very, very insightful. That's something I can say. Fantastic work. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, and I know that every other person on the call did as well. So what we've been able to do, what we've been able to achieve is building a dashboard, a report. A report that actually shows the budget for a particular company, that's Technova in this case, for an entire year. This is just a snippet of what a financial analyst actually does. This is just a glimpse of what you can do as a financial analyst. This is just an inkling of what Power BI can actually achieve when you know the right way to work with the tools. Okay, so thank you very much, Mark, once again for this. This was absolutely amazing. I think you can stop sharing now so I can share my screen while I move over to the other section. Yeah, thank you very much. So, like I mentioned the other time, I said that once Mark is done, I'm going to come back and then we're going to have some fun. Because I'm a fun person, I love having fun. So I decided, okay, you know what? When we're done with the first section, we'll come back, we have some fun, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing now. We are going to have some fun. And the first thing that we are going to take a look at, but just to know, just to ensure that everyone is still with me, that we are ready to have some fun, I want you to send a 1 to the chat box if you're still with me. Okay. So if you know you're still with me, you're still following, you've been enjoying the session so far, send a 1 to the chat box. So I need responses. Okay. I need responses. Joseph, I need the response from you. Ayo, Balogun, Chigo, Fred, Messi, Nzie, Olumutoba, Scholastic. I need responses. Okay, thank you very much, Fred. Thank you, IA. Okay, so Fred is with us. Great. IA is with us as well. Absolutely fantastic. Victor, what about you? Are you good to go? Okay. Adesoji is also with us as well, which is great. Okay, so like I said, the first thing we're going to need to take a look at, we're going to have fun, of course, so stick with me. But the first thing we're going to have to take a look at is understanding why really should you even go into financial analysis, okay? Why should you become a financial analyst? Because we've heard about things we've heard about things that a financial analyst can do. We've seen things that a financial analyst can do. We've seen how Power BI can be used. We've seen how Power BI can be used in analyzing a report. But is this role actually a path that you should be looking to get into? Because at the end of the day, we want to ensure we move into a career path that is not a dead end. And what I mean by that is when looking to transition, when you're looking to move from what you're doing at the moment into something better, you want to ensure that there are numerous opportunities in that particular path, in that particular career. And so for when it comes to financial analytics, does it really fall in that section? That's a section of roles that has numerous opportunities, does it? So we're going to take a look at that together. Of course, at Synalytics, the reason why we actually went ahead to offer the programs that we offer was due to the research that we carried out. Because our goal is to ensure that we help you achieve your goals. Our goal is to ensure that you are successful. Our goal is to ensure that you are able to transition into tech. And so because of that, we could not wing things. And when I say wing things, I mean just decide, go to bed and wake up one morning and say, okay, you know what? I feel we should have this program, we should have this program. No, a lot of research, a lot of analysis was done. And so the first thing that we did is that we scraped the different job boards. We scraped different job boards from LinkedIn to Indeed to Glassdoor to Total Jobs, so many read.co.uk, because we wanted to understand what jobs are actually reoccurring. Like what jobs do we have so many opportunities that we know that if you do eventually learn the skills, it's going to be super easy for you to land the job. So that's the reason why we went ahead to carry out web scrape. Now, after web scraping, all of those jobs were now in a database. And then after we got those jobs in our database, we then carried out data analysis. The data analysis we carried out was based on 3 criteria, 3 features. Those were what we're actually taking a look at. The first being ease of learning. Ease of learning. That's a path that is easy for you to learn. A path that let's say within 1 year, less than 1 year, you are able to learn the skills and for you to be able to get a job. Because if you want to be a soldier now, you know that you're going to have to spend probably 10 years of learning or 15 years of learning. Okay. But as adults, when we are learning something new, when we're looking to transition, we want to get into a space that we can get the skills easily and that we can land the job easily. And that's the reason why ease of learning was one very, very important criteria that we had to take a look at. And followed by ease of transitioning. Ease of transitioning is talking about parts that is easy for you to transition in terms of opportunities. Ease of transitioning is actually, I could say, is broken down into two sections. A being the fact that for you to actually get into the space, you don't need to have some sort of background experience. You don't need to have gone to school to study finance for you to be a financial analyst. You don't need to have a certificate that says financial analyst or for you to have an accounting certificate for you to be able to work as a financial analyst. So it's easy to transition into because you don't need a certain kind of background. That's A. And being the fact that there are so many opportunities available that you can apply to as many jobs as you want, which would increase your chances of ensuring that you do land the role. A job where when you go on a job site on, let's say, read.co.uk, for instance, that you will find out that you have nothing less than 100 roles uploaded on the site every day for just financial analytics or for whatever role you're looking for. Every day. So that means when you're applying to jobs, you know that these are actually opportunities. These are roles that are still open, and not when you're applying to jobs that were open 2 months ago and you don't know if the opportunity is still available. And the third criteria we took a look at is the high stroke rewards in salary. And I don't think I need to explain more about what that means, because at the end of the day, when we are looking to transition, we all want to get the Benjamins. And when I say the Benjamins, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about money. You want to be able to earn well that you are not only able to get your needs, but that you can also get your wants, okay? That you are not only able to get your needs, but that you can also get your wants. I'm a firm believer of the fact that you don't only want to be able to afford your shelter, clothing, and nutrition, but you want to be able to get that bag that is cost $500 or cost $1,000 without batting an eye. You want to live a little. So you want to move into a path that you know that you are going to be able to earn as much, that you'll be able to get your needs and your wants as well. So looking at all of these things, the career paths that actually had all of those features, the 8 career paths that had all of these features, are actually the cybersecurity, the agile project management, the financial analyst, HR analyst, all of this. But of course, what we are focused on today is the financial analyst. Okay, so the financial analyst, this is a career path that we noticed actually fell under the specific categories. That's ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high rewarding salary. It's easy for you to learn, it's easy for you to transition, and the salary, of course, it's finger licking. Okay, so yeah, that's what we saw. That's the reason why we decided, yeah, let's take a look at financial analytics. Financial analytics is actually a career path that you should be looking to get into. And we wanted some sort of external validation. We wanted to be able to reach out to someone, listen to an organization that's really not analytics, or that does not have any direct relationship with us at this point, that has carried out a similar analysis, so we compare with what we have and to see if what we have is actually true. And this is how we come across the World Economic Forum, that's the WEF. And the World Economic Forum releases a report every 2 years called the Future of Job Report. And what this report shows is that it shows the roles that are going to increase with time in terms of demand, and it also shows those that would decrease in time in terms of demand. So the number of jobs created and the number of jobs that will be destroyed. And it's an open source document. It's a document that's open to everyone. So I'm sure you'd want to read up on this and show you fill the form that has been sent to the chat box by my colleague. So you get access to these materials. And so you can click on this. Once you get access to the slides, you can click on this and it would open up the full report. So the report is a long read, 200 plus pages, but what we're actually interested in is actually on page 27. So over here, you're going to see that you have several rows, and the rows by the left are rows that are going to increase in demand, and the rows by the right are those that will decrease in demand. I'm going to take that again, okay? I will take that again. So just, okay, so that's my pen. So the rows by the right, these rows are going to increase in demand, and the ones by the right will decrease. The ones by the left will increase, and the ones by the right will decrease. So you'd notice from the rows by the left, you'd notice you find financial analyst in here. And of course, there are other career paths, but yeah, what we're focused on right now is finance. So this is a report that is not from Analytics. It's not a report that is from us. This is actually a report that's coming from the World Economic Forum once again. So this tells you the authenticity of what the research we actually carried out, and of course, what you're seeing at the moment, the fact that there are so many rules available. And you can also carry out a quick test from your own end, because I am someone that believes in facts. So if you're in the UK, I want you can go on read.co.uk and search for financial analyst roles, okay? And you find and after searching for that, filter for the number of rows that we uploaded just today for you to see the plethora of rows available every day. Okay, so this is a great part. This is something that you should be looking at getting into. But who is a financial analyst? Because we've been able to understand that this is actually a viable career path in terms of the opportunities, in terms of the fact that it's easy to learn, and in terms of the salary you'll be getting as well. But who is a financial analyst? Because if you don't understand what financial analysis is all about, or what a financial analyst actually is, then you probably should not be getting into that path. So we're going to need to explore that. Who is a financial analyst? A financial analyst is a professional that maintains the financial health of an organization. A financial analyst is a professional that ensures that any investment the company gets into, it's one that's viable. A financial analyst is a professional that evaluates financial data to trends and economic conditions to help businesses make informed decisions about investment, budgeting, and of course, financial planning. A financial analyst is not just an accountant. A financial analyst is everything that a data analyst is and everything that an accountant is. A financial analyst is one of the pillars of an organization because you want to ensure that you have good money health. The several things that a financial analyst does, and I'm going to give you a case study, okay, a quick scenario. But what financial analysts do, they identify business trends, that's profit trends, they generate reports, and of course, they protect the financial health of that organization. A quick case of what a financial analyst would actually do. At the end of the year, so we have a report, at the end of the year, we have a report, a budget that could be analyzed by the financial analyst, which was what we did earlier. But most organizations, most companies, they are usually looking to expand. So we've made a lot of money at Technova, or let's call this company ABC. So we've made a lot of company ABC, and we are looking to invest in some other business. We are looking to build another company. We are looking to become a franchise. Because we have a lot of money, we want to put money into investing on that business. We might feel that everything is looking good. Okay, so we are making good profit. That means that we have enough money to invest in a new business, trying to build up a new company. But that might not be the case. So the financial analyst is there to take a look at the new industry we are looking to get into, take a look at the kind of revenue that we bring into our current company per year, and see if that investment is going to be viable. A financial analyst helps build what you call a financial model for when a company is looking to launch a new product. A financial model that covers everything from your cost to your profits to what your projections are going to be looking like for the next couple of months or the next couple of years. A financial analyst is a money expert. A financial analyst is amazing. I love finance. I love money. I'm sure you love money as well. So I'm pretty sure you want to get into finance. Okay. So that is what a financial analyst do. That is what a financial analyst does. And like I mentioned earlier, a financial analyst is actually a data analyst, but a data analyst that focuses on financial data. It's just like in medicine, okay? In the hospitals, you have you have different kind of doctors. You have the GPs, that is general practitioners, then you have the surgeons. The surgeon is a doctor, but a doctor that is specialized on a certain part of the body, probably maybe the brain, talking about the neurosurgeon, or maybe the bones, talking about the ophthalmologist. So you have a surgeon that is a doctor, but that is specialized in a certain area. And then you have the GP. The GP is a general practitioner that just treats general body pains, and maybe you have a stomach ache, they help you with that. You have a headache, they help you with that. And then when things are getting more serious, you are then referred to a specialist, usually the surgeon. So in this scenario, the financial analyst is actually the surgeon, and the data analyst is the GP. Just like they are both doctors, the financial analyst is still a data analyst, but a data analyst that focuses on financial data. And to be a financial analyst is a great thing because you can work in several areas. Of course, you can work in data, you can work in some roles in data analytics. You can work as a financial analyst, an investment analyst, a commercial analyst, a credit analyst, a portfolio analyst, so many more. So when you're job hunting, you're not just looking for, oh, I'm only want to apply for financial analyst roles. No, you have so many fishes. You have so many things that you can get into. And that's one of the great things of being in tech. I can tell you for a fact. Okay. But what do you need to know to be a financial analyst? What do you need to do? Easy. To be a financial analyst, the first thing you need to understand is problem solving. You need to be able to solve business problems. And I'm not talking about you just having the general or the innate problem-solving skills that many humans have. No, I'm talking about understanding the different problem-solving methodologies and frameworks, from the 5 whys to the Krebs-DM framework to the McKinsey approach to the Pareto principle, the decision tree. All of these things you have to understand. You have to be able to solve business problems using problem-solving techniques. So you have to learn that, because you cannot be a financial analyst if you cannot solve financial problems. And then you move into Excel, understanding Excel, Microsoft Excel. Understanding Microsoft Excel is fantastic that you spend time on Excel, understanding how you can use Excel for your analysis. Excel is not just a spreadsheet tool. Many people think that's what it is, but it's a whole lot more than that. So you learn about Excel, and then you move into your Power BI, which is actually called your Power Business Intelligence. Today, we took a little glimpse as to what Power BI can do, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, as they say. There's a whole lot more. There are even the patterns that you get to learn. And then you have your SQL, which is your structured query language, a language that you use in interacting with databases, a language you need to understand to be able to interact with data, to be able to speak with data. And then, but it's I usually don't refer to SQL as coding because it's very easy. It's English, so I don't think of it as coding, okay? And then you get to move into your finance, because first of all, you learn the data skills, and then move into your finance to know how you can use the data skills to solve financial problems. So you start with your accounting fundamentals, understanding accounting, then you move into your financial analysis, financial modeling, your valuation, your sensitivity and scenario analysis, and of course, you get to learn how you can work with AI for your analytics. Now, if you're going to look at this, you can see you have things like accounting fundamentals. So if maybe you're thinking, do I need to have a background in accounting for me to become a financial analyst? The answer is no, because all of that will be taken through. You will be taught everything you need to know for you to be able to function as a financial analyst. And what's the class time? The class times, of course, it's you have classes on Saturdays. On Saturdays, for the morning classes, that's for those in Europe and UK, and of course in Africa as well. That's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. WAT or UTC. And of course, for those in North America, probably you have from Canada or in the US, they have a class as well from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. MST. And on Sundays, you have what is called the self-paced watch me do it videos, and the self-paced watch me do it videos also come every other Saturday, because your classes are not every Saturday, but every other Saturday you're going to have the self-paced watch me do it videos, because at Analytics we work with a blended learning approach to cater for everyone. So if maybe you're the kind of person that prefers being in the class, listening to facilitators speak, asking questions, all of this kind of stuff, no problem. You are good to go. And if you're the kind of person that prefer watching videos, going over something over and over and over again, taking a look at replays, no problem as well. You're good to go. And the learning timeline is 8 months, where you get to learn for 6 months. You have a 6 months learning in class and a 2 months of internship. 6 months of learning, 2 months of internship. And the great thing about the internship and the learning is that once you go through all of this, you'll be able to place Tenalytics and Amdari on your CV, because you're going to be learning with Tenalytics, and your internship is going to be coming from Amdari. So you intern with Amdari, you'll also learn with Tenalytics. So when you're asked for a reference letter, whatever the case may be, there's no problem, because you can either get a reference from Tenalytics or Amdari, whichever you choose. Okay, yeah, and we've had so many people that have been able to transition and of course get jobs. From people that have joined our programs, we've been able to help over 2,850 individuals transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech. So many people, and these are just a few of them. For Amaka, that we helped get a job as a HR data analyst. To so many people, you can see a testimonial, someone that reached out, and of course we celebrated with the person. To Pavel got a job as a field service analyst after going through our data analytics program, and this was when he posted on LinkedIn. This was when he posted on LinkedIn about the fact that he finally got a new position, and thanking everyone at Tenalytics and all of that. So these are just a few people to hope that we help get a job as an Agile project manager after going through the Agile project management program. To Oluwa Damilari, that we help get a job as a sustainability analyst in the UK. To Oyefi Kyle, to Ikmat, to Vermat, to Tony, to Lois, to Ngozi, to so many people. It's not possible to Bumi, that we helped get a job as a financial analyst after she went through financial analyst program. Also Victor Bolajiko, to so many people that we've helped. It's not possible for me to place over 2,000 testimonials in the slides, but yeah, just follow us on social media, check out our YouTube channel to go through all of these testimonials, to listen to people speak, people that were previously where you are at the moment, that wanted to move to a point where you're looking to move to, how they're able to do that, and how you can do same as well. But what is the secret? What's the secret of those people actually getting jobs? Because is it just about learning the skills? The answer is no. For you to actually get a job in tech, you need to complete the job equation. And I'm talking about understanding that T plus E is what will get you the job. And what is T? Your technical skills. And then your E, your employability skills. So your technical skills plus your employability skills is what will land you the job. Okay, so you get the technical skills, that's a given. You're going to learn all of the technical skills. But we are very, very much interested in you landing a job, because that's what we call success. Success to us is when you've been able to transition to land a job, and we are very much successful. I've been helping so many people, and I'm sure you understand what that means. So you'll be getting the other 50% in addition to the technical skills, where you begin with your CV review and revamp, where your CVs will be reviewed and revamped, because the CV is the gateway to ensuring that you actually do land the job. So you need to have CVs that are ATS worthy. You need to have CVs that can pass through the ATS, and that when they get to the palms of the recruiter knows that you are the one for the role and goes ahead to schedule an interview. And also LinkedIn optimization, where you are taking through how you can have a great LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn now is what I love to call the Facebook of professionals. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, you're doing something wrong. If your LinkedIn profile is not well optimized, you are doing something wrong, because there are lots of opportunities on LinkedIn. There are people, for one, I know I've recruited so many people on LinkedIn, and the only way I will reach out to you to ask you if you're interested in sending opportunity is if your LinkedIn profile is well optimized, from your profile picture to your about section, to the kind of things you post, all of those. So we'll have that session to ensure that you know how you can get a great LinkedIn profile to navigate to the job market. Navigating the job market, where we're bringing recruiters, Bringing recruiters, tech recruiters. These are people that you are literally submitting your CVs to. Bringing recruiters from from the US, the UK, Canada. Recruiters that have been able to work with Silicon Valley, with Fortune 500 companies. They could join the sessions and they tell you about their green flags. Now, what do I mean by green flags? We hear about red flags often. Oh, don't do this, don't do this, don't put this in your CV, don't put this in your CV. Okay, what should I then put in my CV? That's what they get to tell you. They tell you things that they look out for when looking at CVs. Because the truth is, no one spends 5 minutes reading your CV. So if you think people spend time looking at your CV, that's a lie. The average time a recruiter spends taking a look at a CV is from 2 to 6 seconds. 2 to 6 seconds. So within that time, there are certain things that they're looking out for. And if it's not on your CV, then you're down the drain. So what are those things that you should actually be looking out for? What are those things that you should add to your CV that will almost guarantee you're going to get an interview? The recruiters will tell you about that, and that's what navigating the job market is all about. Then once you've been able to do all of these things and you've gotten an interview, you can reach out to schedule an interview prep session with a professional. This prep session, the professional will take you through everything you need to know, helping you prep from how you can answer questions about yourself, to talking about your experience, to getting prepared for technical questions, to ensuring that your feet did not just get into the door, but that your entire being is thrown into that organization, because that is what we care about. We want you to succeed, not just get an interview. And so after you've got your interview, of course, you're prepped for the interview, you do land that job. We understand that many recruiters would want you to provide some sort of reference letter. So as long as you're a participant or an alumnus with Analytics, you are sure of getting a reference letter from us when the need arises. So you can get a reference letter from Mamdari, or you can get a reference letter from Analytics, which is a great one. Okay, and we also offer on-the-job support. So you've gotten the job, but you've been given a task that is not so clear. So you can reach out to us and we'll provide on-the-job support for you, provide support to you, telling you what you need to do, how you can go back to work and perform exceptionally well, because you can always reach out to your facilitators, your trainers for guidance. And of course, the weekly mentorship session. This is where you are mentored week in, week out. Every week, you are mentored every week with industry leaders coming in, people that have been able to succeed where you're looking to succeed, to mentor you, telling you that this is what you need to do to ensure that you succeed as quickly as possible. And this is what you shouldn't do so you don't delay your success. From taking a look at different things such as strategies you can use in applying to jobs, to strategies you can use in getting sponsorship roles, if that's what you are looking out for, to so many things. And of course, Upwork optimization, where if you are looking to freelance, you're interested in freelancing, the Upwork optimization session would show you how you can be a successful freelancer, from how you can get into the space, have a great profile, ensure that you write outstanding proposals, and get clients at your door. Okay, all of these things put together is what will help you land the job, in addition to the skills that you'd learned previously. And for you to be a part of our next cohort is going to begin on the 10th of May. For you to be a part of the next cohort, all you need to do is register. Easy as pie. Okay, so at the moment, the registration fee for the 8 months program, okay, it's actually $900. But yeah, we're currently running the discount, a 20% discount for the first 20 persons to register. And so you get to pay $750 instead if you are able to benefit from the discounts. So once you want to register, all you need to do is to click on the link that my colleague is going to send to the so all you need to do once you want to register, just click on the link that my colleague is going to send to the chat box. Okay, so once you click on that link, it's going to bring you over to the Analytics Environment Center, and I'm going to show you what that looks like quickly so we can go over it together. Okay, so it brings you over here, and you'd see this Analytics Environment Center. Over here, you can chat with Analytics. So maybe you're having some issues, you want to reach out to us, you can click on this, and you can get access to all of our program brochures. Maybe you're interested in other programs from cybersecurity, data engineering, data analytics, business analysis, HR analytics, data science, HR project management, all of that. Okay, so you can click on this to get access to all of our brochures. And then once you scroll down, you'd see all of the different programs that you can select. So let's say you want to register for the financial analytics program. You just scroll down, you find register for FA. So you click on register for financial analytics, and this will bring you over to this page where you can go ahead to make payments. So just wait for this to load up. Okay, so over here, you can see all of the payments plans. So if you are not able, maybe you don't want to go ahead to make the full payment, that's of $750. If you actually qualify for the discount, you can go ahead to pay in installments. So you can pay to as much as $150 per month spread across 5 months. But if you decide to pay, get the one-time payment, you get to pay $50 less. Okay, so what am I saying? This is what I'm saying. The full amount is $900. So the full amount is $900. Okay, if you qualify for the discount, you get a 20% off, and so you get to pay $750 instead. And if you then decide, okay, you know what, I want to make a one-time payment, or you want to break your payment into 2 installments or just one payment, you get to get an extra $50 off. And so you end up paying $700 instead. But if you don't want to go this route, maybe you want this to be like 3 monthly installments, 4 monthly installments, or 5 monthly installments. So of course, you get to pay $750 if you are a part of the discount. Okay. So once you select the tranche you want to fall into, so you click on that, and then you go ahead to click on secure your seats. And you can see the payment timeline. So once I make payment today, the next time I'm going to need to pay will be on the 17th of May. So I can click on proceed, and I go ahead to make payment. Okay, so you want to ensure that you jump on this as quickly as possible. Again, the discount is only for the first 20 people to register. Only for the first 20 people to register. Okay, ensure you jump on the discount. The discount is only for the first 20 persons to register, and be a part of the amazing team that we are building. And of course, for your certificate is also going to carry the ACTD logo, because we are registered with the American Council of Training and Development. We've been accredited due to the amazing training, that we offer. So that's something that you are going to be getting as well. Okay, so I think I could take maybe 1 or 2 questions. If we have questions, I could take 1 or 2 questions, and we call it a day. Do I have questions? I'll just take a look at the chat box. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Olomotoba. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so please spread the word so we can help so many people, because that's what drives us, helping people transition into tech. And I'm really, really glad and happy that we've made a positive impact. So I don't think we have questions. In case maybe you have questions later on, all you need to do, you can just reach out to any of the admins on the tech community and book clarity session. How can we help you get a job? So you can just click on that, book a session, and of course there are professionals waiting to speak to you, to have that conversation with you, where you can ask any and every question that you have. But until then, please ensure you go ahead to register quickly, because again, quick says the clock. Whatever you have to do, do ensure you do quick. I'll see you guys some other time. Cheers, everyone.